Welcome to the cleanest and most efficient bungalow setup in Schedule 1. Yo, how's it going, guys? It's your boy Nubioo here, and today I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the updated, super clean, super efficient bungalow setup for Flower. I hope you guys enjoy this build, as it did take me a little bit of time to put together, but it does look very, very nice and works extremely well. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the list of parts that you're going to need for this build. 10 large shelves totaling $600, a packaging station which is $100, 3 mixing station Mark IIs totaling $6,000, 16 suspension racks totaling $640, 16 moisture preserving pots totaling $800, 16 full spectrum grow lights totaling $3,200, 5 beds totaling $750. And these next two things are up to you, but I do think it really adds to the build. So you're gonna need 30 modern wall lamps totaling $3,000 and a grandfather clock. Those are both new items that have been added to the game, but grandfather clock is $3,000. The total of the whole build nonetheless is going to be $18,090. All right, let's go ahead and get into the build. First of all, we're gonna start with the lamps and go ahead and get these out of the way. You are going to need to go ahead and grab at least one suspension rack to help you place some of these lights. So we're going to start in here. Put one of these in the corner so you can actually place it at the right height. And you're going to line it up about with the top rail here so you can actually see these lights. I'm going to do it just like this. Go ahead and turn these on. And now we're going to move this and place it in the next corner so that we can actually line this up. As you can see, it's lined up about with that line there. And it'll be the same on this side almost. Perfectly fine. There's only so much you can do to even things out in this, which, me having OCD, I like it to be as even as possible, but it still looks very nice like this. So go ahead and line it up. Line it up. And then do it for the last corner. These lights are going to basically make it to where you don't even need to have the lights on in the building and it's still going to look good. But what I go ahead and do is place 2 angled lights on the door here and then 2 more angled lights on the window over here. And in the end, this really does add to the build. As you can see, I can turn off the light and it is still plenty bright in here. Very nice. But we're going to go ahead and go around to all of these corners and add some lights about up to the top of this door frame, about this height, or all the way around if you can. It might take a little bit of adjusting. It is kind of interesting to get these adjusted right, but I'll end up going back through and lining these up better when I'm off camera, as I'm trying to make the video not too long. But go ahead and line these up as best as you can. And then go ahead and place 2 lights like this, basically touching the cabinet, just a little bit off. Try to make them around the same height. You got to make them look good. I don't want to come into your world and see them all messed up. Otherwise, I might freak out. I might. All right. Continuing on, putting these in the corners. Very nice, very nice. Now we just have to do this room. Sweet, that works. Okay, so what we're going to go ahead and do is this little trick that I found out. Go ahead and place your grandfather clock so you can actually estimate where it's going to be in the room. I put it right dead center. So I hold this in my hand and then I swap to my lights to where it's perfectly lined up. And I go ahead and place 2 lights right behind this. Make sure you turn them on before you place this down. And it gives it kind of that nice glow effect, which is pretty nice looking. All right, we're going to go ahead and run around and place some of these shelves to fill this in. 2 shelves actually fit very nice right there next to it, and then you can put the 2 on, either side. Make it look pretty good. These are going to be ingredient shelves. These will be like from the plants grown shelves, so the pots are going to transfer from in here to over here, which is very nice. And we're going to go ahead and grab out our suspension racks. I just had to fill that in to make it look good, but go ahead and run in here. Place a suspension rack along the side here. Go ahead and place all 8 of them actually. Place them just like that. As you can see, our lights are lined up. We did that prior to this. Go ahead and place them through here, not like that. And it should look something like this. We're going to go ahead and put 2 large shelves right here. These are going to be the supplier large storage racks. So this is where they're going to grab their seeds and their soil from. This will be the main source for them. And then this one right here will be the overstock. And then we're going to have another overstock shelf right out here for them. So this will fill up this front one. And then this one will fill up this one. So you're not going to have to worry about them for a while. All right, these last couple shelves that we got, we are going to go ahead and place like so. Just like this. And then this last shelf we're actually going to use. That'll be our 10th shelf we're going to put right here whenever we empty it off. Okay, now, so that we have all of these set up, we're going to go ahead and place a mixing station right here, mixing station right here, and a mixing station right here. Run in here with the preserving pots and go ahead and place one in every single one of these suspension racks. Like so, and then go ahead and go through and place your full spectrum grow lights. And now that we have gone ahead and done that, this room is pretty much done. So we're going to go ahead and come out here and place our packing station and our couple beds. We're going to place a bed here, here, and here to leave us some room. And then these last 2 beds are going to go in here. Make it to where you can still have a little bit of space here. The workers can get through here, so please don't flood the comments saying that they can't. I have tested this for multiple hours and had 0 problems. If you do end up having a bug with the workers standing still or not getting past it, all you have to do is save and reset or save and relog. So click the save button and then click the quit button and then just launch your world again. So now that we have all this set up, I would like to explain. We are going to put our first ingredient here, our second ingredient here, and our third ingredient here. I will go ahead and fill this up with a good starting mix. Okay, now that we got our first ingredient, we are going to go ahead and place it on our first ingredient shelf, going into the first mixer of the whole process. And now that we've got our second ingredient being horse semen, we're going to go ahead and place it on our second ingredient shelf, going into the second mixer. Now, once we got our third ingredient being Viagra, go ahead and put it on the third ingredient shelf for the third mixer. And we'll go ahead and set up these mixers while we're here. So go ahead and look at your mixer with your clipboard in your hand. Click manage, set the threshold to 10 and destination to the second mixer. Now click escape, then click manage on the second mixer, up the threshold to 10, set the destination to the third mixing station. Click escape, click manage, threshold, destination to this packing station. Perfect. And then we're going to manage the packaging station and we are going to set the destination to our finished product shelf, being this one right here or that one over there, up to you. I'm going to do this one. And now that we have all the ingredient shelves done, we're going to go ahead and grab some soil. So I recommend buying at least 6 stacks of 10 soil, preferably the best soil you can get, extra long life soil, and put 2 stacks on this shelf, 2 stacks on this shelf, and then 2 stacks on the back shelf. Sweet. And then all we need is seeds. Okay, so now that you have gone and got your seeds, I would prefer green crack seeds over the rest, just because green crack is actually the best you can get in the game. I know some of y'all might think it is Granddaddy Purple. It's not. It has 0% addictiveness, and it is suggested for 44. Green crack is suggested for 43 and has 34% addictiveness, which is so much better. So now that you have got your seeds, you want to go ahead and place the rest of these slots, like fill up all of these slots on these 3 shelves with seeds. I don't have enough to fill these up just yet, but go ahead and fill all of those up. This one, and this one back here. This one in the back is the most important, so the seeds from this shelf will automatically get put on that one. Make sure you fill up the back shelf all the way. At least put 1 in each slot to where that it'll keep it full, just like this, because you don't want this all being filled up with soil. Otherwise, they're not going to be planting any seeds. And then after you've placed the seeds in the soil on all of these shelves, what you're going to go ahead and do after that is fill up this shelf right here with jars so that the handler can package the finished product from these mixing stations with these jars, and then the jars that are packed will be put here. So those jars will be used to give to your dealers, Brad, Molly, Benji, etc., and they will sell them out of the jars. They will sell one at a time out of the jar, two at a time. They can sell it separated out of the jar, not only by jar. It's going to be a lot harder for you to actually sell a jar. You're not going to get as many jar orders as you are going to get single orders. So go ahead and give those to them. If you need to unpack a jar, all you're going to do is take a full jar. This one's just an example. You're going to put that in the slot here, the full jar, and then click the little blue arrow and turn it to unpackage, and you can actually unpack the jar and then pack it into a baggie if you would like to sell it like that. So the next step of the process is just going to be setting up our workers, and this part is not hard, so just bear with me. I'm going to walk you through it. First of all, we're going to start with our botanist. We're going to click manage botanist with our clipboard in our hand, click pots and drying racks, and come inside. I'm going to go ahead and go to one side of the room, and we are going to hold shift and click on 8 of these pots. And then once you have 8 pots clicked on, go ahead and click enter, and then we'll have all 8 pots selected out of 8. And we're going to click supplies, and we're going to go ahead and set the supply shelf to the one in the back. Perfect, all done. Then after you have that botanist set up, we're going to go ahead and come outside and select the next botanist, click pots and drying racks, come inside the same room, hold shift, and click on the other 8 pots. And then we're going to click enter, and then all 8 pots are selected again. We're going to click supplies, and we are going to set it to the same back shelf. Perfect, all done. Now once we have the botanist set up, we are actually going to click on all of the pots, every single one of them in the room. So it should be 16 pots, and it says manage 16 pots. So we're going to go ahead and click manage. We're going to click seed and set it to the seed that you are using. I'm using green crack because it is a good mix that we have here. Actually sells for $102. So after you get the seed set on all the pots, go ahead and swap off your clipboard and swap back, and then click on 8 pots, just one full side of the pots, and click manage pots. And we're going to click destination, and we're going to set it to one of these back shelves. I'm going to set it to this one first. That's good. Scroll off the clipboard and go back. Go ahead and select the next 8 pots, and then click manage 8 pots. We're going to set the destination to the other side. So we are going to have 2 shelves that are getting full of all of the grown bud or flower out of the pots. So now that we have the botanist set up, we're going to go ahead and come out here and manage our chemist and assign her to all 3 of the mixing stations. There's assign 1, assign 2, and assign 3. And now she's all set up. Simple as that. All right, so the chemist was very easy. We're going to go ahead and start setting up our handlers. So our first handler, we're going to go ahead and click assign station and assign her to this packing station. Perfect. Now we're going to click roots, click from, and then we're going to do this jar shelf to the packaging station. So we're going to go ahead and click on the jar shelf, click to, and set it to the packing station. Perfect. Now we are going to set her to these ingredient shelves. So go ahead and click from this shelf to the first mixing station, and then also from this shelf to the first mixing station. Then we're going to click add new again, click from the first ingredient shelf to the first mixing station, add new from the second ingredient shelf to the second mixing station. Now her slots are all filled up. We're going to go ahead and select the next handler. Going to manage, click add new from, and then we are going to do from the third ingredient shelf to the third mixing station. Now the last part of this setup is going to be clicking add new, and we're going to set up the next shelf. So we're going to carry from this shelf to this shelf. Sweet. Now we're going to click add new again and go from this shelf right here in front to the back shelf. So click the front shelf and then click to the back shelf. Perfect. And now you are pretty much all set up. This is going to produce you quite a bit of jars a day. It might actually be pretty hard to keep up with. This strain, being green crack, mega bean, horse semen, and Viagra, is going to sell for $102 per. So you are going to start racking in cash, and you get to look at a very nice setup all day. But the last thing is to set up the beds. You probably already know this. I'm going to run through and set up these beds. But if you don't know how to set up these beds, we're going to go ahead and click on one of our workers and then click on a bed. Not a super hard process. Anyway, now you are all done. All you're going to have to do is go ahead and fill up these shelves, obviously, and pay your workers. And then you are going to start racking in cash. So thank you guys for watching. Remember to go follow my Twitch, join the Discord, and check every now and again and see if I am live. I love talking to you guys, so I will continue to show my appreciativeness of you guys' support, which has been absolutely insane. And once we hit 10K, it looks like we are doing a subathon. So make sure you're there. Thank you guys for being here. My name's Nubioo. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.